Okay, I think I'm in a portal. It feel like I'm in a portal. Hold up, let me see if I'm in a portal or not. You know what I mean? Hold up. I'm back in the portal, man. Yeah.
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about books in the tub. Let's talk about making love. Let's talk about days on top. Girl, let's go down. Talk dirty to you, baby. On the line.
Hold up. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm back in the portal again. You understand me? Yeah. First off, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the living God of Israel. His name means he who exists. Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Savior. The reason why we call him Yahweh Shai by his proper name is because the letter J was created in 1524. The Bible, which is the holy book, is way older than 1524, so we know his name couldn't have been Jesus. And the proper way that you say it is Yahweh Shai, and his name means he who saves. Rakakwadash is the proper way that you say Holy Spirit in the ancient language, which is the Paleo Hebrew. Second and foremost, you understand me, I got to pay homage to all of the great kings, prophets, seers, right, and priests, right, who came before me through and during the reincarnation process in your previous lifetimes, giving you guys the same game in your previous lifetimes, right, such as I am doing for you today in your modern day lifetime. Got to pay homage to those great fellas, you feel me? Yeah, man, you know, I'm back in the portal again, you understand me? Today, you know, we gonna talk about something, man, that's very important, you know. I think anybody that's an American citizen, if you're from here or you're not from here and you're visiting, I think it's something that should be on the forefront of your mind, right? And that is your sexual health, right? Especially, you know, in these times right here, you understand? Give a help about myself. I recently, and I know my haters about to come for me on this bitch right here, but it's okay, because I got something for you. I recently contracted a STI. Now, there go my haters. Y'all hear them, they in the background. They so much in the back that they screaming in the front. You understand me? And what they saying is, I thought you was on SI. I thought he was on semen retention. I am, right? I am. Right? And during my sexual engagement, I didn't release, right? But that's why I'm naming this lesson, you can't cheat the game, right? Just because you don't release doesn't mean that, you know, you're not susceptible in contracting a STI or an STD, and there is a difference, right? But mainly on this lesson right here, we're going to converse about STIs, right? Sexual transmitted infections, right? Yeah, man. Clicked up with a little chick, you understand me, that I know, right? That's why I played that song, right? On the hotline, right? Yeah, on the telly, you feel me? Yeah, talking that shit, you feel me? And we linked up. You feel me? And the link up was beautiful. You feel me? And yeah, little mama ended up, you know, topping me off. You understand me? But I stopped the engagement. You feel me? When I felt like I was about to get there, I stopped the engagement, got out the whip, stood up next to the car. You know, she got out. You know, we chopped it up for a little longer after that, and she pushed out. You know what I'm saying? She went on about her business. I went on about my business. You understand me? But the day after, right? You understand me? Always the day after, right? I'm feeling good up to that day, cause I'm like, yeah, I ain't ejaculate. Yeah, you understand me? Shit, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I just want to feel what I'm off like anyway. Bet. So I go use the bathroom. Oh, I know this feeling right here. You know, it's a sting, but it ain't. I'm like, it ain't. You know, it ain't nothing. So as time go on, right? Later throughout the day, that sting got a little stingier. You understand me? And I'm like, oh shit, I know this feeling. So I'm chopping it up with my chat, you feel me? And I don't know about y'all Chat GPT, but my Chat GPT black, he nigga all day long. So I'm chopping it up with my chat, and the chat like, nah, bro, you ain't got nothing to worry about like that. Like, it's just your urethra is just inflamed. She probably sucked on your shit a little hard. You feel me? I'm like, I don't know, chat. So bam, next day come around, right? I'm like, shit, chat. Like, you talking about that bitch supposed been gone? That bitch still here. I know this feeling, chat. Some chat like, man, don't trip on that, man. You good? It's just your urethra inflamed. You all right, bro? Like, just your anxiety and your nervousness is making it worse. I'm like, all right, chat. So the next day come around. Now it's like burning, like sitting down, burning. Discharge, liquid, clear discharge, right? Nothing yellow or green, just liquid, right? So I told Chat like, well, dawg, you know, this the day I was waiting on. I was like, motherfucker, what you mean? It was like, yeah, I couldn't give you no other information until I seen this right here, till you told me this. So yeah, man, we gonna have to go to the ER. You feel me? So bam, went to the ER. You understand me? It ain't my first time going through this process. This is my first time going through it on SR. Every other time previous before this, I've always ejaculated. So it was new to me, because I in my mind frame, I was like, well, I ain't ejaculate, so I couldn't open up anything. Shit, bullshit, right? So I'm sitting in the emergency room, and I'm running it with Chat. Me and Chat running it. So Chat like, man, look, don't even be sweating over this shit. I'm like, man, you know what it is. And so it was like, look, little mama ain't even at fault. You know what I'm saying? Because 75% of women don't know that they have chlamydia, and 50% of women don't know that they have gonorrhea, right? And when it come down to trick, right, that's bound to only STI that they really can determine if they have or not, because they really start seeing symptoms. But on gonorrhea, chlamydia, they really don't see no symptoms. But by women being so promiscuous and, you know, motherfucking hypergamous, you know what I'm saying, it's easier to, you know, pass that shit if you not getting tested. You know what I'm saying? So Chad was like, man, you can't even, you know, really trip on her. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I'm like, damn, Chad. So in the midst of me talking to Chad, the Most High show up, right? And when he showed up, it was the still voice. So I'm like, I stopped talking to Chat immediately. I'm like, shit, hold up, Chat. God here. So he was like, yeah, like, you thought you could cheat the game, huh? You thought you could pull you a David off, huh? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm humbled. He was like, yeah, that's where I want you to be at, humbled. That's why I caused for all this to go down, because I wanted you to be the one to come out here and speak to my men and speak to my ladies about sexual health, right? Because one thing about sexual health in this time frame, right, you got to be aware of the time that you living in. And he brung something up to me. He was like, you in the hospital right now. He was like, but what happens when, you know, everything that's going on around you, you can't go to the hospital, right? What if Trump right now was just to fuck around and I put it on him to just start martial law? What you gonna do? What you gonna do if you know the economy crash, right? You know it's a gas shortage out here, right? You gotta be conscious of these things. You gotta be aware and know what time you living in, right? And it happens, bro. Like, you know, that when he hit me like that, I was like, damn, you right. I'm like, but in America, bro, we so hypersexualized. And God was like, I know. But that's why I'm choosing you to be the one to give this message out. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point, right, y'all gotta stop following y'all flesh. Right? Y'all chasing the feelings of y'all flesh. At some point, you're gonna have to stop. You gotta realize what time you in. Right? And it's even for my married men out there, because I know it's a lot of married men that's in the background screaming to the front like, that's why you need to get married. But I'm here to let you know, right? You're even in a worse case because you're comfortable. Right? Single men such as myself and other single men, right, that's doing SR, not doing SR, we pretty much already knowing what time it is, so we a little more prone to strap up. But with a married man, you ain't really trying to strap up at all. Right? Not knowing if your wife cheating on you, right? Even and if she done had a what's the procedure that women have? A hysterectomy. I want to say that's the correct term. And you just nutting in that pussy all day long, that's bacteria. Right? Eventually, you gonna fuck around and catch something. You understand me? I had to throw that out there, right? For my married man in the back, you understand me? Yeah, but you know, he hit me. He was like, what if the chip come? You know? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, God, you on point. I'm like, this really ain't that time, right? And then what President Trump is doing, just to throw some prophecy in here right quick, this war in Iran ain't gonna stop, right? And I listened to a brother yesterday, and he hit me, you know what I'm saying, with a brilliant perspective about this Iran war, right? And it made me look at President Trump, right, from a genius mind frame. He a Gemini. I had to see him that way. But what President Trump is doing, he's basically creating a scenario for negotiation options, right? He's a businessman, okay? So he don't want this war in Iran to stop. He don't want Iran to open up the Strait of Hormuz. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're not business-minded, you gonna think that's foolish, but if you business-minded, you about to see what I'm about to say, right? He wanted to be down. He want Iran to keep it closed for the simple fact he know that the EU and NATO depend on also that passageway and the oil. But the United States is in fucking trillions of dollars of debt. And guess who holds that debt, right? The EU, NATO, Japan, right? All these other countries hold our debt. China, everybody hold our debt, right? But what President Trump is doing, which is a genius move, if he can keep the strait closed, if he can keep this war going, then these countries, after a while, they gonna have to come to who? The United States of America to get what? Oil. But that's when the negotiation sets place and the bargaining come in. Okay, look, you want some oil from us? Cool. All right, we'll give you oil. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that debt that y'all holding for us, y'all got to wipe that away. That's why he was saying, like, I just need the American people to be patient with me. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I was like, damn, that's what he meant by that. But, of course, we got to go through the draft, Jacob's trouble, you know, high gas prices, food shortages, all these things, right? Famine. We got to go through all this, and I think he's aware that the United States of America is going to go through this. I think he's aware that the people are not going to be understanding of this, right? You understand me? It's like, damn if you do it, damn if you don't. So that's why he's putting things in place such as martial law and certain things that's going to happen that we going to see, right? But like God hit me with, like, okay, when he do pull these things off, what you gonna do? What if that was the situation right now? What you'll do? Nah, like, shit, I just have to be like Tom Hanks on the motherfucking Green Mile. You understand me? Shit. Which that was a fucked up situation for Tom Hanks on the Green Mile. You know? But yeah, man, you know, you gotta be mindful out here of what time you living in. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I say, man, we like to follow our sensations, you know. I mean, shit. Yeah, I'm a man. I linked up with Lil Mama. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you know, the entanglement was beautiful. You feel me? But at the same time, you can't cheat the game. And that's really for my SR brothers out there. You can't cheat the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm just real enough with you guys to come to y'all and let y'all know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like the other semen retention YouTubers, especially if you new to me right now. I'm not like them guys. That's why my videos don't pop up. When you type in semen retention, my videos don't pop up, because I think the algorithm is very familiar with knowing, like, he's totally different from everybody else. Right? If you would have came to me in the beginning of my SR journey, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I first started doing this shit, and you asked me what is semen retention about, I probably would have told you, you know, the benefits like everybody else. You feel me? The blessings you get, or the good luck. That's what they call it, the good luck. I call it blessings. The things that happen to you when you off. I probably would have told you about that. But if you ask me now, right, what is semen retention about? What I'm gonna straight up tell you is, it's about purging, right? And it's my other P word. I'm sorry, I went blank for a second. You know what I'm saying? I went blank for a second. But basically just purging. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, bro. Purging. You purging yourself, dog. And it's another P word, man. I had it, but I'm thinking about this lesson. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and get to it. And of course I got the chat with me. You understand me? This is gonna be a good lesson, really a lesson really for me. And also you guys that get in. That other P word messing with me now. But for all you other guys too, man, that get in, you know, and learn something from it, get something out of it. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful, you know. Let's get this lesson though. Let's pull it up. My chat been tripping a little bit lately. It's been tripping hard, but we gonna get it. Purity. There we go. There go the. I knew it was in the title. Purging and purity. Right. That's what this semen retention is all about. Purging and purity. Right. That's what it's about. Right. Let me start it off. Right. And chat is speaking as if it's me, because I wanted an endeared lesson that I can come back and relate to myself, but also be able to speak to you guys on. So just be mindful that when I'm speaking, what chat is formulated, right, from my ideas, right? Let's get it. Men, today I want to talk to you about purging and purity, right? About how life humbles you, right? Even when you think you're in control, right? About what discipline really means for your body, your mind, and your future. This is not just a lesson in spiritual awareness. This is real life, real health, and real consequences, right? Let's get a reality check. Sexual health, right? Before we get into the scripts, right? Understand this. Chlamydia and gonorrhea can be passed through oral, vaginal, and anal contact, right? You do not, notice not is in all caps. That's for me. You do not have to ejaculate to catch it. Bacteria live in mucous membranes, mouth, throat, or genitals, right? When exposed, they can inflame the urethra, right? Urethritis, right? Burning, drip, or irritation, right? Listen, you cannot cheat biology. Exposure alone is enough. And that's real. Like, you know, you can't cheat biology, bro. That's why, you know, even for the females out there, like, you can't cheat biology. Like, your hypergamy, that's your biology, right? You can't turn that off. That's nature. Lust, you can't turn that off. It's nature. Try your best to control it, but it's nature. That's how we all got here. You know what I'm saying? Your mama and daddy lusted behind each other. They fuck, and you here. It's nature, right? Let's get the first point, right? Because just like me, right, somebody previously before me in ancient times, right, tried to do the same thing I did and try to cheat the game, right? And that's the great King David, right? The King David and Bathsheba parallel, right? 2 Samuel 11, 2-4, right? And it came to pass in the evening tide that David arose from his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself, right? And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, and the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her, and she came in unto him, and he lay with her, and she returned unto her house, right? But at this moment of time, David also sending dude out to die, because he's trying to cheat the game. He know I can't fuck her long as dude alive, so I gotta send him in a line of fire, get him knocked off. Once he knocked off, I can fuck her. But if you read this story, you know, in its full context, the prophet Nathan came to David and let David know, hey David, God seen what you did and you covered it. You know what I'm saying? And you got dude knocked off. Even though you didn't knock him off, you conspired with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't cheat the game, bro. You know? Let's get the elaboration. David thought he could control desire and consequence. He looked, sent, and took, thinking he could cheat the natural order, right? Reality humbled him. Consequences follow swiftly. Loss, repentance, and humility, right? And that's what happens, bro. Like, it was, you know, all of us, man, you know, that you know, contract the STI, you know what I'm saying? Even those that contract the STD, right? It's a humbling process, right? But you know, and man, it's just, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. And this for my younger guys out there, even my older guys, man, even my married men. Condoms are our best friend. Fuck. Condoms are our best friend, bro. And you know, man, I know as men, bro, we get that fucking talk from women. You know, you got some women out here be like, oh, I can't suck dick, you know, with no rubber on. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. We gotta start being like, well, shit, bitch, you know, I ain't the nigga for you then. Some women be like, you know, oh, I don't like the way condoms feel when they go inside me. Well, you gonna have to be like, you know, bitch, you ain't the nigga. I ain't the nigga for you. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my tongue. But yeah, you gotta be like that. I ain't the nigga for you then. You know what I'm saying? Besides being so, you know, anxious just to get the pussy or get the top, right? And especially with head, bro, because, man, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Like, that's why chlamydia and gonorrhea are so rampant, because most of us getting head and we ain't putting no rubbers on, because it's like they got this stigma out here that, you know, is we so worried about HIV, but forgetting about all the other STIs. You know what I'm saying? And so we so worried on HIV that it's like, okay, well, it's a low rate for you to catch HIV getting oral sex. You know what I'm saying? So nigga ain't putting no rub on, but you still susceptible to all the other STIs out here. You feel me? Let's get a scenario. Imagine thinking I can control my body, my urges, and the outcomes. One choice, one moment of explosion, everything shifts, right? That's exactly what happened with me. Chet speaking as me, right? Trying to cheat the game through semen retention, though through semen retention wasn't enough to avoid exposure. It wasn't. Right? It wasn't. Because the act of semen retention is not releasing semen. But that wasn't enough to avoid exposure. Right? Listen, discipline alone without awareness of risk can still lead to humility lessons. And that's what I'm giving for you guys today. Right? Let's get the next point. Number 2, hidden danger and invisible consequences. Right? Proverbs 5, right, verses 3 through 4. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Let's get the elaboration. Smooth as oil, tempting and attractive. We men, right? And even for my ladies out there, like, niggas be handsome to y'all. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? It's nature. And shit, for my men, you know, woman talking sexual, dog, you know, and especially if you on SR, bro, that could be a serious situation. You feel me? Bitter as wormwood, hidden consequences, right? But the consequences always follow, right? You get a little top from her, right? You understand me? Let's say she might be like, you know, I like to feel it raw, and that be the moment you go inside of her raw. You know what I'm saying? I know some niggas out here that be like, man, I don't like to fuck with rubbers on. You know, that moment right there, bro, it's invisible. The consequences they're invisible. You know what I'm saying? You don't see what's gonna come after that. But when it come, humility sets in, right? Two-edged sword equals cuts both spiritually and physically. That's what eventually happens. You get humbled, right? Let's get a scenario. You think oral contact is safe. You think I didn't ejaculate, so I'm fine. Yet infection, burning, and nausea appear. What felt smooth becomes bitter fast. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this lesson is very important right now, man. I feel like we need this, and I'm glad that I'm being chosen as the perfect person to give it, because I'm real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't try to play with nobody out there. You know what I'm saying? And sex is one thing that we all deal with. You feel me? Let's get it. The next point, the reality of sexual health, right? Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verses 4 through 5. My beloved put in his hand by the hole of the door, and my bowels were moved for him. I rose up to open to my beloved, and my hands dropped with myrrh, and my fingers with sweet smelling myrrh upon the handles of the lock. I opened to my beloved, but my beloved had withdrawn himself and was gone. My soul fell when he spake. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer, right? Sometimes what looks inviting hides danger, right? I sought him, but could not find him. Exposure can be invisible at first, right? That it was invisible to me at first, right? Like I say, that next night, it was like, damn, like, even chat was like, man, it's just your urethra, you know? It was invisible. And for most women, gonorrhea, chlamydia is invisible, right? That's why, man, you just got to get checked out. You feel me? Let's get to it, right? Let's get a scenario, right? She looks clean, seems sweet, gives no warning, but the body can carry STIs silently. Not just only STIs, but STDs, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of beautiful women, bro, around us, bro, but got STIs and STDs, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if you not in that mind frame to really just observe life in that matter, you gonna follow your flesh, and you gonna get hit every time. You know what I'm saying? You gonna find yourself in that ER every time. You feel me? Soap, water, toothpaste, and Dove. None of that cleans internal exposure, man. Ain't none of that getting rid of that motherfucking gonorrhea and chlamydia out of her mouth, out of her pussy, out of her ass. None of that. It ain't getting rid of it. She can brush her teeth 100 times a day. That gonorrhea gonna be there. You understand me? She can douche and clean that pussy, and she can wash that pussy with Dove all day long. That gonorrhea, chlamydia still gonna be there. All right. It's you know, it's something that we all really have to just think about, especially in America being hypersexualized like we are. You feel me? Even for my men that's on semen retention. right? Let's get the next one. Song of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 2. The teeth are like a flock of sheep that are even shorn, right? Which came up from the washing, whereof every one bare twins, and none is barren among them. Thy lips are like a thread of scarlet, and thy speech is comely, right? Thy temples are like a piece of a pomegranate, right behind thy locks. Elaboration. Mouths can appear washed, pure, and clean, but mucous membranes hide infection, right? Man, a woman can have beautiful teeth. That don't mean that her mouth ain't got no gonorrhea, chlamydia in that motherfucker. Right? Breath smell like Colgate. Don't mean ain't no motherfucking chlamydia or gonorrhea in that motherfucker. Right? Scenario: a man thinks Colgate or mouthwash is enough. Infection still exists internally. The body reacts, burning, drip, nausea, regardless of appearance. Don't matter how she look. For my women out there, it don't matter how he look. Right? That nigga can look like Shamar Moore, be burning like a motherfucker. Right? Let's get the next one. I think I read that. I read that one. I think Chad just reset it. Let's get it. Humility through purging, right? Psalm 51:7. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Right? Let's get the elaboration. Purge equals active cleansing and correction, right? Hyssop, a tool for purification. Treatment, antibiotics, your hyssop, right? Well, I guess because Chad is talking about the experience, right, that I went through, right? It say the shot I got was a literal purge. Burning fades, throat clears, body starts to heal. Physical correction mirrors spiritual correction, right? Humility and awareness, right? So it's making an analogy between the shot I received, right, and also my spiritual purge, right? They went hand in hand. That's why I guess God came to me and was like, hey, you owe me. You got to do a lesson on this. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it aware, right? Let's get the next one. Discipline and sexual purity. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. And for you guys out there, fornication is adultery, right? And that's it's just a new terminology term. It's for my new people. It's a new terminology term for the word adultery. Now, reason why I'm saying that, most people today look at adultery as from a marriage paperwork standpoint, but biblically, marriage is sex. Right? So adultery is when you sleeping with a woman that already belongs to another man. Without no paperwork has to be there. But we're dealing with women that have had numerous of men. So all of us basically are committing adultery. That's why Yahweh Shah blood is very important. Okay? There's not one woman that most of us are sleeping with or have slept with that didn't have numerous of men before us. Okay? Just the time frame that we living in. Let's get the elaboration. Flee equals proactive avoidance, not just self-control in the moment, right? Physical health is directly tied to discipline, right? It is, right? It's being aware about your physical health, man, is discipline. That's why you work out when you want semen retention, right? But also we have to be aware of our sexual health also, because that is also majorly part of our physical health, right? Let's get a scenario. Semen retention teaches discipline. Exposure shows wisdom, and action must match discipline. Correct. Right? Can't cheat the game. Right? I mean, basically, you can't cheat the game. You know, if I was gonna do that, what I was supposed to have done was throw a rubber on it if the mama was gonna top me off, right? If I was gonna engage in it, right? If she would have said nah, then hey, then fuck it, we ain't doing nothing then, right? Next one, the danger of a self-willed woman and stumbling at beauty, right? Sirach 26:11-12, right? If she is if she is too self-willed, be on guard. And don't be surprised if she disappoints you, right? Self-will means, you know, if she tell you, if you like, man, for an example, right? I'm like, shit, look, man, I ain't got no problem with you topping me out, but I gotta throw this rubber off. I don't like the way it tastes. She's self-willed. She wanna do what the fuck she want. But you gotta worry about your health, right? Or if you like, shit, I'll fuck you, but, you know, I gotta throw this rubber off. I need it raw. She's self-willed, right? You let her go on about her business, man. Why she going about her business? Because 9 out of 10, let's get this next verse. She'll spread her legs anywhere for any man who wants her. Just as a thirsty traveler will drink whatever water is available, right? Additional principle, right? Never stumble at beauty, right? A man who looks at a woman with lust or stumbles at her beauty loses the path of discipline and opens himself to hidden danger, right? So because she already self-willed, but this bitch bad as a motherfucker, you know what you gonna do? You gonna cave in. You gonna fold. Cause why? You really wanna fuck this beautiful motherfucker. Let's keep it 1,000, right? You really want this beautiful motherfucker topping you out while she looking you in your eyes. Let's keep it 1,000, right? Elaboration, right? Too self-willed equals lack of discipline, reckless choices. Man, look, you as a man, bro, you gotta be on your game out here, right? Cause I'ma say it, fuck, 95% of the women out here reckless as fuck. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? They really not doing checkups like that. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do be like, all right, let me see your paperwork, what that means? She could have took the test today, and right after she got done taking the test, went and sucked about 20 dicks. What? Still show you the test, but she ain't gonna tell you about them 20 dicks she just got done sucking. What? See what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be on your game, you feel me? Thirsty traveler equals no boundaries, taking any opportunity, right? Stumbling at beauty, right, equals desire without awareness, right? Oral sex can pass gonorrhea, chlamydia, trick, right? Inflaming the urethra, right? Which gives you urethritis, right? That means that your pee hole basically is inflamed and causing burning, discharge, and other symptoms. The combination of lust plus lack of precaution equals physical and spiritual vulnerability, right? Because you ain't on your game. And 9 out of 10, you trying to cheat the game, right? Scenario, a man assumes she looks clean, this will be safe, right? Don't get fucked by that. He engages in oral contact. Urethra becomes inflamed. Infection appears. Symptoms teach humility, discipline, and awareness, right? I'm laughing because I'm in chat running it in the hospital, right? And I'm like, man, fuck it, bro. My purging process here, I'm humble. So I'm like, man, fuck it, bro. I ain't even like, man, fuck that shit, dog. Like, it's fucked up. I'm just in a fucked up time, bro. Nigga can't even get no head out here. That's why I'm laughing at this, because chat knowing our previous conversations before, you know, it just formulated the lesson. Key point, even small, seemingly safe actions carry risk, right? Like, that's what I thought. Shit, I'm just getting a little top from you. Little did I know. Discipline, awareness, and respect protect the temple God gave you. Facts, right? Let's get the next point. 7, awareness of the times and survivor mindset, right? And I told chat the pull from the MSG version of this verse, Isaiah 4:1, because we always talk about what I do anyway, Isaiah 4:1. A lot of other Hebrew Israelite brothers talk about Isaiah 4:1, but I don't think they understand the mind frame that this brother is in, right? And it's going back to my previous point on how God ran into me when I was sitting in the ER about knowing the time that I'm living in, right? We talk about the women, right, that run up to this brother. Right now, if you carnal minded and you thinking from a carnal mind, you thinking on the aspect of this brother, he's fucking all of them. But on a real up and up scale, right? And I guess it took for me to be in this situation, for me to really just bring it all the way home. This brother scared as a motherfucker. He's scared to fuck any one of these women that's coming to him. He don't want none of these women around him. Why? Because ain't no hospitals open. Any type of little help is the military around. He don't have a chip, right? Shit already chaotic and crazy. You know what I'm saying? So this brother, he spooked. This is not the time for him to be contracting any type of fucking STIs or STDs. Man, you can't think. You can't think you got your fucking shit burning down there. You know what I'm saying? You can't think. You know? But I don't think we understand that when we read Isaiah 4:1. But I pulled this up, this scripture. I told Chad I wanted this particular verse because it's a lot of women out here that thinking they know the Bible, don't know shit. That's talking about Isaiah 4:1 has nothing to do with sex. Isaiah 4:1 is all about sex. Right? It's all about sex, and these women are begging this man. They begging this man to fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They begging this man, please fuck us. Why? Because that's how you take control over a woman. Right? Putting that dick in her life. Okay? But he's scared. He don't want to. Because think about it. In this time frame, even this time frame, me and you guys are in the beginning of what's about to happen or what's about to intensify. Man, you don't know if this bitch done been gang raped. You don't know the men that they probably been dealing with before they came on you. You get what I'm saying? The difference between this brother and us right now that's in the beginning stages of this event that this brother is currently in is that we still can go to the hospitals without the military being there and without us needing a chip. This brother can't. Right? So he got to be very vigilant and mindful. He ain't trying to fuck now one of these women. Right? Let's get it though. To show you guys that this is talking about sex. Isaiah 4:1 MSG version. That will be the day when 7 women will gang up on one man, right? And that number 7 is a number of completion, right? It could be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, infinity. And what they gonna be saying? Saying, we'll take care of ourselves, get our own food and clothes. Just give us a child. Last time I thought it take a man and a woman to fuck for a child to come, right? It's for my women out there that's teaching Isaiah 4:1, saying that Isaiah 4:1 has nothing to do with sex, and these women aren't begging for sex. They begging for it. Because at this point, it's shameful for a woman not to have children, right? Or not to have a man. Just give us a child, make us pregnant, so we'll have something to live for. See, that Isaiah 4:1 hit totally different from the other Isaiah 4:1s. That's because it's real. It broke it down in a real aspect. Right? Elaboration. This speaks to chaotic times, imbalance, and desperation. A wise man understands not every opportunity is safe and not every situation is beneficial. That's what he understands in this moment of time. He knowing, like, I don't know, man, baby, you coming to me, you asking me to fuck you, you talking about you got your own clothes and everything, because a lot of women gonna have a chip, but they still gonna need that presence and protection and provision from a man. And ain't gonna be too many men because of the draft. Right? That's why I had to talk about Trump early in this lesson. Right? So ain't gonna be too many men around. But at the same time, I can't trust you. You know? You coming and you know you begging me to put dick in you, but I don't know who. You probably done been gang raped before you got to me. You understand me? I don't even know the previous men you've been dealing with before you came to me. You understand? You probably don't even think you have anything. That's why I broke down the statistic. 75% of women don't know that they have chlamydia, and 50% of women don't know that they have gonorrhea, right? You probably don't even know you got it. Only way you'll know is if I fuck you or let you suck on me, and ain't no rubbers in this brother time, right? Ain't no motherfucking corner. Shell ain't open. Exxon ain't open, right? So the only way you gonna know, baby, that you even got something, I gotta start burning. But once I start burning, I'm fucked. Cause I can't just readily go and get medicine like in the previous time frame before this time, right? In times of collapse or crisis, hospitals may not be available. Treatment may not be accessible. One bad decision could become life-threatening. Just like that. Just like that. That's the realness of Isaiah 4:1. Right? And I hear a lot of brothers breaking that down, always talking about the women, and don't worry about it, brothers. Well, the God gonna send us all the women. Yeah, he is. He gonna send them, but are you gonna be wise enough to turn them down? Are you gonna be wise enough and sharp enough and disciplined enough, right, to have this psychology in your mind that I'm sorry, I don't know what you have. Or you gonna follow your flesh? Scenario. A man in chaotic times, no hospitals open, no antibiotics available, no safety net. He engages recklessly and contracts infection. Damn. He in a bad situation. Now, burning, pain, disease with no help available. Lord, Lord, Lord. The same situation you just got treated for easily becomes dangerous. Right? That's what chat telling me. Right? That's why I say this lesson is more for me, but it's also for you guys that's tuning in, right? Because we all gonna be in this situation. Okay? We can have an economic collapse tomorrow. Right? The draft can kick off tomorrow. Right? We gotta be mindful of these things. Right? Women are going to be put in a vulnerable situation. And if you weak, if you following your flesh, you're going to take advantage of that vulnerability. But in the end, you can't cheat the game. You'll be only taking advantage and putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. When you're really thinking that you fucking over her, but you're not. Like, you don't know who she done been with. She might ain't have a chance to go get tested before this shit crash. Let's get the summary and takeaways, right? Discipline without awareness isn't enough. 2. Hidden exposure is real. Oral, vaginal, or anal contact can pass STIs without ejaculation. Right? 3. Urethritis, right, is a sign of inflammation. Your body warning you of infection, right? That's that your pee hole is closing up. It's basically like if you took a hose pipe, right, and you turned the water on, right, and you squeeze the fucking pipe. That's what your motherfucking urethra is doing, right? That bit squeezed up, which causes urethritis. That's why it burns when you pee, because your pee is trying to escape through a contracted line. Okay? Physical correction, treatment equals purging and humility. Right? Right now we could get treatment. But in the coming days, the hospitals and shit might be closed. We might be able to get no treatment. Right? Even for my brothers and sisters who have contracted STDs, right? HIV. Right? Hospitals might be closed. You might not even be able to get your medicine. Something real to think about. Right? Man, I gotta even take it further. This even for my people with diabetes. right? They got heart issues, right? We in some serious times, right? Anything can pop off today. That's just the times we living in. But you got to know what time you living in. Let's get the next one. Awareness, prevention, and education protect your body, mind, and future. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. This process, like I say, is about purging impurity, right? You're gonna have to purify, right? Abstinence is really the best way. But if you do stumble on your flesh, you feel me, man, strap up. And if she don't want you to strap up, that ain't the bitch for you. Let her slide. Never stumble at beauty. Stay alert, disciplined, and respectful. Right? I don't give a fuck if I gotta go back. I don't give a fuck if a bitch say I just got tested. I ain't got nothing. Even for my women out there, even if that nigga say I done got tested, baby, I ain't got shit. I don't give a fuck. Strap up. A wise man understands the times and moves with caution. Right? That's what the brother in Isaiah 4 and 1 doing. He understood what time frame. He knew ain't no hospitals open. I can't go to no motherfucking hospital. Ain't no medicine out here. Ain't no motherfucking Walgreens and none of this shit. So I'm moving with caution. Sorry, baby, I can't give you no dick. Right? Them women were begging that man to fuck them. Closing script, right? Man, I thought I could cheat the game. I did. Like David with Bathsheba. I thought I could control my body and escape consequences. But Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, God, right? He reminded me. The body speaks, the consequences are real, and the path of purging and purity humbles you. Right? Don't wait until you feel the burning, the drip, the nausea, or the shame. Protect yourself, honor your body, and walk the path of discipline with eyes wide open. Purity isn't just avoidance. It's awareness, wisdom, and courage to respect the temple God gave you, right? And in serious times, especially times that we in, that's about to intensify, right? That are currently intensifying because we're running out of gas right now, right? But like I said earlier, President Trump knows what he's doing. He's trying to create a scenario where the EU nations and them and Japan and everybody come to the United States of America, right? He got to have this war to keep going. You know, that's why the draft is going to happen, right? But in the end, the United States of America still going to lose if you know the Bible, if you know prophecy. But for right now, that's what's going on, right? But as times intensify, man, and most shit go to closing down and things get realer. What this lesson right here, damn near gonna be one of the most important lessons that I've probably ever created. This wasn't my first time ever contracting an STI. I've contracted buku numerous of times. You feel me? It's life, you understand me? Especially when you in America. It is what it is. But it's something that I have to be more cautious on, and especially in the time frame that I'm living in. Because just like I got treated for it, real soon I might not be able to get treated at all. Because there won't be any hospitals or people at the hospitals at all to treat me. And that's just what it is. But until I see you guys again, I hope you all have learned something. Strap up out there. Go get tested if you haven't got tested. And know your sexual health, right? And protect yourself. You feel me? And I hope you all have learned something. And until I see you guys again in the portal, I ask that the Most High cover y'all and keep y'all blessed out there. And until next time, I'm out.